Let me describe two people to you and tell me which one you think is better with money. Person A is disciplined. Every month they create a detailed budget. They track every dollar. They allocate money to categories: groceries, gas, entertainment, savings. They use spreadsheets. They know exactly where every penny goes. They feel responsible and in control. But at the end of every month, they've saved maybe $200, sometimes nothing. Life happens, unexpected expenses pop up, and the savings category always gets rated first. Person B looks completely irresponsible. They don't budget. They don't track spending. They have no categories or spreadsheets. On payday, they immediately move $1,000 to savings and investments before doing anything else. Then they spend whatever's left on whatever they want. No guilt, no tracking, no stress. At the end of the month, they've saved $1,000 every single month without fail. After 1 year, person A has saved maybe $1,800 if they're lucky. Person B has saved $12,000. After 10 years, person A has $22,000 saved. Person B has $207,000 because they invested it and it grew. The difference isn't discipline. Person A is more disciplined. The difference is that person B understands something person A doesn't. Traditional budgeting is backwards. If you've been trying to budget your way to wealth and failing, if you track every expense and still can't save money, if you feel guilty every time you spend because you're not sure if you're staying on budget, this video is going to flip everything you know upside down. My name is John, and I'm going to show you why spending first and saving what's left is actually the secret to building serious wealth. If this sounds crazy, hit that subscribe button because what I'm about to explain could change your entire financial life. Here's what nobody tells you about traditional budgeting. It doesn't work. Study after study shows that 80% of people who try to budget fail within the first month. They create the perfect budget, they commit to tracking, and within 3 weeks, they've given up. Why? Because budgeting is exhausting. It requires constant vigilance. You have to track every coffee, every sandwich, every random purchase. You have to feel guilty when you go over budget in any category. You have to have arguments with yourself about whether something is groceries or dining out or entertainment. But here's the real problem. Traditional budgeting puts savings at the end. You budget for rent, utilities, food, transportation, insurance, entertainment, and if there's anything left, you save it. Savings is the residual, the leftover, the afterthought. And guess what? There's never anything left. Life expands to consume available resources. If you have $3,000 after bills, you'll find ways to spend $3,000. The money will disappear into 1,000 small purchases that seemed reasonable at the time. Let me show you why the reverse budget works. Instead of saving what's left after spending, you spend what's left after saving. The day your paycheck hits, before you pay bills, before you buy groceries, before you do anything, you move your savings target to a separate account you don't touch. That money is gone. It doesn't exist anymore. Now you have to live on what remains. This does something psychological. It creates artificial scarcity. You have less money available, so you naturally spend less. You find ways to make it work. Here's the math. Let's say you make $5,000 per month after taxes. Traditional budgeting says allocate $2,000 for rent, $600 for groceries, $300 for utilities, $400 for car payment and insurance, $200 for gas, $300 for dining out, $200 for entertainment, $500 for miscellaneous, and save whatever's left. In theory, that's $500 in savings. In reality, miscellaneous always becomes $700, groceries become $700, dining out becomes $400, and you save $0. The reverse budget says move $1,000 to savings immediately. Now you have $4,000 to work with. You still pay your $2,000 rent and $300 utilities and $400 for car stuff. That leaves $1,300 for everything else. You make it work. You cook more, you skip unnecessary purchases, you find efficiencies. And you save $1,000 every month without thinking about it. Over a year, that's $12,000 saved guaranteed versus maybe $2,000 with traditional budgeting. But it gets better because that $1,000 per month gets invested automatically. After 10 years at 10% returns, you have $207,000. The traditional budgeter who saved $2,000 per year has $35,000. You have $172,000 more wealth by doing less work, less tracking, less guilt, less stress. You reverse budgeted your way to wealth while they budgeted their way to staying broke. Now, the obvious question, what if I can't afford to move $1,000 to savings first? What if my expenses are too high? Here's the thing. You find a way. That's the magic of the reverse budget. When you have no choice, you make it work. You cut the subscriptions you forgot about. You meal prep instead of ordering delivery. You skip the coffee shop. You find cheaper alternatives. The artificial scarcity forces efficiency that budgeting never does. Start with whatever percentage feels uncomfortable but doable. If 20% feels impossible, start with 10%. If you make $5,000, move $500 to savings first. Live on $4,500. After 2 months, you'll realize you don't mess that $500. Increase to 15%, then 20%, then 25%. The goal is to get to 20% minimum, but you can ramp up gradually. The key is that savings happens first, automatically, before you have a chance to spend it. Here's the framework for implementing the reverse budget. Step 1, decide on your savings percentage. I recommend 20% of gross income, but start wherever you can sustain. If you make $60,000 per year, that's $12,000 per year or $1,000 per month. Step 2, set up automatic transfers. The day your paycheck deposits, $1,000 automatically moves to a separate savings or investment account. You never see it, you never touch it. It's gone. Step 3, live on what's left. You've got your remaining money to cover all expenses and discretionary spending. Don't budget it, don't track it, just spend it on whatever you need and want. As long as you're not going into debt, you're winning. The savings already happened. Step 4, never touch the savings account except for true emergencies or planned goals. This isn't your checking account overflow. This is your wealth-building machine. Step 5, increase your percentage annually. Every time you get a raise, increase your automatic transfer before you get used to the higher income. Got a 5% raise? Increase your savings by 3% and lifestyle by 2%. This prevents lifestyle inflation while steadily building wealth. Let me show you what this looks like over a real career. You're 25, making $50,000 per year. You reverse budget 15%, which is $625 per month. You live on the remaining $2,458 after taxes and savings. By 30, you've saved and invested $37,500, which has grown to about $48,000. By 35, with modest raises, you're saving $800 per month and you've accumulated $128,000. By 45, you've got $428,000. By 55, you've got $1.1 million. By 65, you've got $2.4 million. Now compare that to the traditional budgeter who saves 5% because that's all they can manage after budgeting everything else. Same career, same raises. By 65, they have $780,000. You have $1.6 million more. Same income, same life. Radically different outcome. The reverse budget made you a multimillionaire, while traditional budgeting kept them comfortable but not wealthy. Here's what most people get wrong about this. They think they need to budget to control spending, but the reverse budget controls spending better than any budget ever could. When you have less money available, you naturally spend less. You don't need to track if you bought too many lattes. If you run out of money before the next paycheck, you already know you overspent. The feedback is immediate and automatic. No spreadsheets required. Plus, you eliminate guilt. With traditional budgeting, every purchase comes with anxiety. Did I already spend too much on dining out this month? Can I afford this? Should I feel bad? With reverse budgeting, if the money is in your account, you can spend it guilt-free. You already saved. Everything left is yours to enjoy. This is psychologically liberating. You're building wealth and enjoying life simultaneously. The reverse budget also works because it aligns with human behavior instead of fighting it. Humans are terrible at delayed gratification. We're bad at saying no to present pleasures for future benefits. Traditional budgeting asks you to resist temptation constantly. The reverse budget removes temptation entirely. The money isn't there to spend. It's already saved. You're not resisting anything. You're just spending what you have, which is what you were going to do anyway. Here's the action plan. Open a separate savings account at a different bank from your checking. This creates friction for accessing the money. Set up automatic transfers for the day after your paycheck deposits. Start with 10% of your take-home if 20% feels impossible. Live on what remains. Don't track, don't budget, don't stress. Just spend what's available. After 30 days, check your savings account. You'll have saved more than any month you tried to budget. After 90 days, increase your percentage by 2 to 3%. After 6 months, you'll never go back to traditional budgeting. One important note. The reverse budget doesn't mean be reckless with spending. You still need to cover your bills and stay out of debt. If you're running out of money before the month ends, you need to either reduce your savings percentage temporarily or cut expenses. But most people find that they naturally adjust their spending to their available money without conscious effort. Here's what I need you to understand. Budgeting is a 1950s solution to a 2026 problem. It was designed for a world where you got paid weekly in cash and had to physically allocate money to envelopes for different expenses. We have automatic bill pay now. We have instant bank transfers. We can automate our entire financial lives. The reverse budget is the modern solution that leverages automation and behavioral psychology to build wealth effortlessly. You have a choice. Keep trying to budget your way to wealth using a system that fails 80% of the time and leaves you stressed and broke? Or flip the script entirely. Save first, spend second, and become wealthy without tracking a single expense. The reverse budget isn't just easier, it's mathematically superior. It builds more wealth with less effort. If this video changed how you think about budgeting and saving, smash that like button and subscribe to John Money Rules for content that actually works instead of repeating tired advice. The reverse budget could be worth $1.6 million more in retirement. Stop budgeting. Start reverse budgeting.